National at Effingham, 4-time state qualifier, going against Charlie Strange, a junior, with a 22-6 record from Leavenworth Immaculata.
This is a rematch of a dual match wrestled earlier in the year, which Bonner won 11-2, but last week in regionals, of course, Bonner won that, while Strange finished third, losing to McLaughlin from Effingham, whom he beat last night in the semifinal. So who knows? Strange could be ready to go tonight, and we could see a different outcome this time.
Again, just underway in the first period, and these guys are familiar with each other, and there's going to be, what's interesting when you get to these bigger weights, there's a lot of manhandling going on, a lot of rough and ready action. Again, Strange from Immaculata in the green singlet. Leavenworth Immaculata going against Bonner, Derek in the maroon singlet.
Strange just did an awful nice duck under there to get nothing out of it, and now Strange comes right back, gets his single leg, and gets a takedown from it. And turns him loose before he gets in real trouble.
Which might be what?
Well, the way he was looking there, he could have been sucked over onto his back and get a reversal and near fall out of it, but he wisely backed out of there and gave up the escape and said, let's go back up on our feet again.
2-1.
Another duck under attempt by Bonner. Looks like Strange may have been looking for that duck under.
At what point I mentioned what kind of trouble, do these wrestlers have a chance to respond to what might happen? It's purely, at the moment, instinctual at this point, isn't it? I mean, it's just instinct that they respond or react.
If it isn't, they're in trouble. Okay, I remember when Dan Gable, who's presently the coach at the University of Iowa, lost his national championship his senior year. He got a takedown there by Bonner and an escape coming right back by Strange. Ties it up again at 3-3. But Gable lost to a sophomore in his senior year, and I talked to his coach, and he said, what happened, Dan? And Dan said, well, I thought, and he said, that was it. You were thinking instead of reacting. And they have to have trained themselves to the point where they just automatically react to what's happening.
It becomes automatic, and we've got a tough one here, 3-3. This has been a seesaw first period. Again, the wrestler from Immaculata, Charlie Strange, a junior in the green singlet. He won in overtime, as you mentioned, beating McLaughlin 8-3 to get to this point, and that was a heck of a match. And he's with 22 wins on the season, tied up against Derek Bonner, undefeated. He had a younger brother also qualify for this state tournament.
Strange has dodged about 3 takedowns there by being out of bounds. And of course, Bonner just may have dodged one there because Strange had a good double leg takedown coming in on him.
Both these wrestlers have been made to backpedal a few times in this first period.
Yes, they have, and somewhere down the line that could cost them if they backpedal too much.
And we're down to the final tick on that period, and it's 3-3 after 1. We'll mark it in our books. Oh, there's a big sign up top underneath the media booth up there that says "Fans Rock the Stands," and that's what they've been doing. We've got a nice crowd tonight at Gross Memorial Coliseum on the campus of Fort Hays State University as we get ready for the second period of the 160-pound weight class. Again, it's all tied up between Derek Bonner, who will start from the bottom position as he tries to set out on Charlie Stranger from Immaculata.
Bonner tried a good switch move there, but was unable to execute it. Winds up coming to his feet and getting the escape out of it. Strange felt it was better to give him the escape than to sit down there and fight it. And Strange is in deep on a single leg now. If he can pick it up and make it work, he's in good shape. Otherwise, he could come out of it with nothing.
Nice counter that time.
Trying that foot sweep, and you got to time that just right for when the guy's weight's just leaving it or just coming down on it to make it work.
Head coach Bill Knorr of Silver Lake for the Eagles. He had a son qualify for the state tournament, and now he's watching this wrestler, Derek Bonner, a senior, try to keep his record unbeaten. He was a state champion, the wrestler Bonner from Silver Lake in 1990. He took first at 140 pounds.
That's right. And for some reason Strange has picked up a takedown there. Giving back the escape. I think Strange thought he had some back points there, but he didn't hold him long enough to get him. So we're still tied at 5-5.
Boy, these guys are using the whole match.
I'd say this is probably definitely a different match than the last time they wrestled. Strange's coach told me before the finals began tonight that Bonner just pretty much controlled everything that match. Now he's able to use that reverse headlock and pull him over into a takedown and go ahead 7-5.
Yeah, I think the score in that first encounter was something like 19-6 with Bonner winning, and she said control it. They go out of bounds again at 31 seconds left in the second period, and it's a tough match right now. Bonner out in front, 7-5. Again, as we said, unbeaten.
Again, there's something about being in the state finals that makes you forget all those things that happened before.
Or as you said before, you better forget about it because it's a new match, but again, maybe learn from those experiences. He's trying to bridge out. He just can't do it.
Bonner's trying to go for that cradle, and of course Strange is doing an excellent job of fighting against it. Almost had an escape there. If he could have kept him from locking his hands up, he'd have been free, and we'd have had an even tighter match.
Well, right now it's pretty tight right now. 7-5. Bonner out in front from Silver Lake over Strange from Immaculata in the green singlet, going to all fours in the floor position. 13 seconds left in the second period. We should mention Bill Knorr, the coach of Silver Lake, is a former Kansas junior national coach for freestyle and Greco-Roman, so he's been around the coaching block a few times.
Bill's been around wrestling all his life. His father was the wrestling coach at Kansas State University years ago when they had their wrestling program, so he's no stranger to the mat.
Boy, did you see the look of intensity on these guys' faces? They come running at us. I started to look a little intense. I didn't know if they're going to stop.
Yeah, sometimes they don't.
I guess your coach, as the second period winds down to zip, never to let up until you hear the whistle, right?
Well, if you do, you might as well resign yourself to a season of losing. If you let up and the other guy doesn't, you're in trouble.
7-5 right now. And again, Bonner from Silver Lake out in front by 2, and he'll start out this third period on top, leading Strange from Immaculata, the Raiders. Wrestler took third at the Effingham Regional, and Bonner, a four-time state qualifier, took first in his regional, the same one. So they were at the same regional, and they're both in the state tournament.
Strange tried a standing switch there. He had a good throw at it. Got his hips out good, but he just doesn't have enough space to make it work.
Boy, a lot of media also making this a spectacular event. Again, the print and radio stations, the newspapers and the radio that cover wrestling throughout the year, tremendous hats off to them because they're with these teams and the fans as the season goes. And I'll tell you, in western Kansas, wrestling is pretty much the way of the world, and spreading the word of the radio stations and the newspapers. So they just do a tremendous job. We got a little bit of our information from the newspapers.
Yes, we did. And we'd like to see a little bit more coverage in that area. Sometimes we know a match has happened and we look for it and we can't find it because it was in the wrong edition. But the coverage has definitely improved immensely in the last 10 or 12 years.
And we see about 5 to 6 radio stations topside of Gross Memorial Coliseum. Again, spreading the word back home. Again, a full house here. And radio stations. Wrestling and radio just doesn't seem to go together, but I'll tell you, it's been that way for a few years.
That's, I think, one of the things that's really caused the growth and coverage of wrestling is the Smoky Hills Public Television broadcast of these state tournament finals over the last, 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, that's a big plus for the sport.
I've had people mention to me that they'd never seen a wrestling match in their life. They've watched it on TV and they wind up going to the next one.
You bet. The only wrestling they've seen is All-Star Wrestling. Jim Hacksaw Duggan in his 2x4 of pain, you know.
Let's don't use that contradiction of terms.
That's right. This is wrestling. The best in the state right now. This is what it's all about. So if you check it out in person, if you can. Right now we've got a great crowd watching this match. 7-5 as Derek Bonner from Silver Lake leading over Charlie Strange from Immaculata. And it's been nip and tuck. It was 7-5 going into this period, and it's still that way.
Bonner just picked up the stalling warning. Referee says that he's taking him off the mat intentionally, so he's picked up a stalling warning there, and he's going to have to change his tactics a little bit, or he's liable to lose one of those points.
40 seconds and counting in this match. We'll take a break right after this match is over. We're in a 160-pound weight class, and it's going to be a tight finish. Again, neither wrestler's team in the hunt for the state title. Right now, Plainville's out in front, 96 to Waukegan and Hoxie's 81, St. Francis 80.5, Leota 78. Boy, I don't know. Is Strange going to have enough juice here?
I don't know. Referee Jerry Meyer there looks like he's kind of concerned about what's not going on out there.
Nothing's going to happen. 6 seconds and counting, and it looks like Bonner is going to up his record to 32-0. And Derek Bonner picks up the win, 7-5. He led after 2, 7-5, and he's the state champion. So his second state championship, Bonner picks up the win. And Bonner from Silver Lake gets it. Charlie Strange of Immaculata takes second. Again, that at 160. We'll be back for more state championship wrestling after this timeout.